regulars on Two Raw for TV. Two Raw for TV family, really. You know what I'm saying? So
We are. We
Actually,
are.
actually,
absolutely.
Hello.
And you're on my wall, on the wall. You guys
actually,
get a
cancel
closer
that.
On
view
the
on
Cancel
wall.
that. Cancel
On the
that.
wall. Come
Cancel
on.
that.
The wall of fame. Come on.
I don't think I'm on the wall.
The Colored Only Cafe is on the wall. I'm not not my name. Just Colored Only Cafe. Yes. On the wall is inscribed. It was written. Hey.
Mm-hmm.
It was written.
All right, shout outs to everybody on TikTok. Hey, listen, really appreciate all the love that y'all sending on TikTok lately. You got to catch the whole show on tworawfortv.tv, all right? You're just seeing some behind the scenes right now. We're going to be live for a little while. TikTok is saying that my videos are going viral, so I should go live. So we live here. But this is actually Two Raw for TV. I'm co-owner for tworawfortv.tv. The app is coming soon, very soon, especially with TikTok. We don't know what's going to be happening with TikTok here. Y'all can find me and everything I do right on tworawfortv.tv. Here's my partner coming in the scene right now. As you can see, Malcolm X is on his checks. He's sitting down, red beard. That's Palmetto Star, right? He's banned on Two Raw for TV. He's banned on TikTok. Actually, can't
I'm banned
even
on
get
TikTok, but I'm making a special guest appearance.
right on TikTok through Two Raw for TV. That's the power of tworawfortv.tv. So live on social media right now. Start off with TikTok. I believe we're going on Instagram. We're going on YouTube. We're going on TikTok, X. We're going on Facebook. So we'll be on all the platforms for about a good 15, 20 minutes. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing the live. Thanks for tapping the screen. Really appreciate all of that. Let's do what we got to do, man. We got to in order to catch the whole show. You need to come on over to tworawfortv.tv. Again, that's the number 2 raw, the number 4
Behind the scenes, Two Raw for TV.tv.
I got to start some
Revolutionary
more.
Black Media. You guys gotta check it
I
out
got to
right
start some
now.
more lives. So give me a second,
Close the
guys.
doors.
This is all the behind the
Is
scenes.
the
We got
Black
the beautiful
Church the
Courtney
new
Close
Traphouse?
Omega,
With
her husband
ministers
Doss, right with them.
Courtney,
That's the
Omega Doss,
couple
and Davon
of a
Doss.
lifetime
So you know I had to
behind
get the ministers to
P
talk about
for
Marvin
Bar.
Sapp
That's
crazy
Plantations for
behavior.
Reparations.
We're gonna talk about all that plus so much
Listen, we
more.
got
So you
so
guys
much to
tune
talk
in,
about.
call
Y'all
in
need to
live,
check that out on
470-572-7678. We're going in
2rawfortv.tv.
live. You
Raw
already know
for
what it is. Two Raw for TV.
TV. Come on over, man. Really appreciate all the love. Share the live first before you do that. Before you come on over, share the live so we get some more people. Because you know how these algorithms work, right? We got to take advantage of the algorithms while they're liking us. So share it up. Do everything we got to do. So we gotta get on over. We got 2 minutes to showtime, guys. I'm gonna go live on some other platforms. Give me a second here. We're gonna go live right now on YouTube. YouTube is live right now, so shout outs to everybody on YouTube. Let's see about Instagram.
Yeah. Yes.
Instagram not yet. To live. Okay, Facebook is live. Shout outs to everybody on Facebook. Appreciate everybody logging in on Facebook. Do me a favor, share the live. Shout outs to TikTok. Shout outs to YouTube. Shout outs to Facebook right now. We will be live on X in a minute. Show is going to be showtime is in 1 minute, everyone. Showtime is in 1 minute. Everybody live in studio. Showtime is in 1 minute. And guys, I'm not a part of the show. I am just behind the scenes. I'm actually the producer of tworawfortv.tv.
You're behind the scenes.
So this is
With
all
the
behind the
most
scenes, right?
revolutionary, censored podcast.
X is already set up. X is gonna go live automatically. I feel like we're forgetting one. Palmetto, we got Palmetto. You hearing me? We're about to go live on. Oh shit! It's 11 o'clock. Never mind.
Blog Talk Radio / 2 Raw for TV, man. I'm too raw for TV.
Have a good show.
If you hear my voice, then you're part of the revolution. Welcome to the new world. I'm your host, Palmetto Star, the Ratchet Revolutionary, but you can call me Prophet. Hey, hit me up right now. We're live on X, Palmetto_Star. We're live on TikTok. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. We're live on all of these platforms only for a limited time. Only for a limited time because this is too raw for TV. So we're going in tonight and we're talking about something that has been buzzing the internet, making people talk, making people reconsider their church membership. And it all started with Marvin Sapp and his infamous words, close the doors. Those were the last words before his congregation was shaken down for $40,000. The preacher, Marvin Sapp, said it was a misunderstanding. But when the tithing starts sounding like thieving, tonight we're going to talk about the black church, old gangsters turned new preachers, and whether the church is regressive or progressive. Tonight we're going to be talking to ministers, Davon and Courtney Dawes, founders of Plantations for Reparations. You guys check them out right now at p4r.today. This divine duel is shaking up the conversation around reparations and the role of historical institutions in modern justice. What is the black churches bringing more of? Salvation or scandal? So we're talking about that, plus so much more. Plus, we got a huge update on Flame Malcolm X Day, which you all know is on May 19th. We're going to talk about all that, plus so much more. You guys call in 470-572-7678. We're live on the social media, but only for a short time because you already know it's too raw for TV. So we have Courtney Dawes and Davon Dawes with us. How are y'all doing?
We are amazing. It is a beautiful evening and it's a great night to have such a dynamic conversation. Thank you again for the invitation. As you said, we are family. It always feels like home. It always feels like home here on Too Raw for TV. But just blowing up and just so excited to see the app and the excitement for all of the, new new Raw TVers. Hello, the new Raw TV family. So it's always good to see how you're growing, brother. It's been quite a journey. This is awesome. This is really awesome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all, and you've been here since the beginning, since the police chase, since that was blowing up on Twitter, and from the first show and everything. So you've been here since the beginning. So it's always a pleasure coming back. And you're on the wall, in my temple of alchemy.
The wall of fame, absolutely. Such an honor. Such an honor. Colored Only Cafe is in the building, in the temple, and on the wall. I love it. Thank you.
Yes. Now let's get right into it. Now, Marvin
Let's
Sapp,
do it.
he well-known gospel artist. He's also a preacher, and a clip came out recently of him saying, talking to a congregation, and he was talking about tithing, and he got a little aggressive with the tithing. More aggressive, I would say, than I've seen than regular churches. You've seen preachers get aggressive with tithing, but he got gangster with it. You know what I'm saying? He got gangster with it. So was it faith or a fleece? So we're talking about that. We're digging into that subject tonight, and I just want to tell you. So have you guys seen the clip? And what's your thoughts on? Was it a fleece or was it faith based? What Marvin Sapp was talking about.
I think we both agreed it was out of order. It's not biblical, and it was a fleece. It was criminal. It was criminal. It was ridiculous.
Right.
You know, so something that I usually do every morning, right? I watch what's in my recommendeds. So I just feel like if it's in my recommendeds, it's something that is I'm in alignment with. And I actually bypassed watching the entire sermon or program as it was in my recommendeds, but I was just seeing so many, like a couple of content creators that I follow pretty consistently that they were commenting. But what I also know is that there was an absence of ones that I am like literally kind of locked in with. And so that's why it was a couple of days, I think, before Davon and I even talked about it, because the ones that I follow that I'm really locked in with, they weren't commenting on it. It was like ones that I kind of sometimes I catch some of their content, sometimes I don't, and I don't make a big deal of it. So I was, even though it was recommended early, it was about 2 days before I sat down and actually listened to the commentary, and then went back and watched the entire sermon, the entire program rather. The whole thing was a shakedown. That's what I think is so kind of, preposterous. Like literally, they saw where that was going. The first guy asked for 800, and then he went back and asked for 500.
Wow.
Said, by the time I said, once after the first 800 was the conversation, I would have been packed up and going, because that guy didn't ask for those doors to be closed when he was after 800. I said, so that was the time to leave. But babe, I mean, what do you think? I mean, because we've talked about it, but what do you think?
I mean, listen, I have like very specific views about tithing to begin with.
We both do.
And
it's evil.
My thing is like, tithing is it's biblical, but it ain't Christian.
That's good, babe. Yeah.
And
yeah.
What I mean is that
yeah.
When you look at the Old Testament, right? Mm-hmm. Tithing was done for a specific reason. By the time the New Testament comes in, it's because Christ had fulfilled the Old Testament, the Old Covenant, I should say, not the Old. Yeah, the Old fulfilled the Old Covenant. Mm-hmm. So tithing ends when the tabernacle was destroyed. So there was no more tithing after that. That 10% thing, like, yeah. So, your Bible thumpers would get very no, let me rephrase that. Yeah. Let me rephrase that. Not your Bible thumpers. Your wallet thumpers.
Your pocket watchers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will have you, believing that you give 10%. Yeah, they saying you don't have lambs and you ain't got crops, but you give 10% of your earnings and 10% of it. That's not what Christ taught at all. It's not what he taught.
Come on.
Even his apostles, Paul specifically, in Galatians 2:10, I believe. Okay. He specifically says, I got it written down here.
Okay.
That we remember the poor. So when they talk and they speak of giving in the New Testament,
that's correct.
To those who are lesser or those who have less, the poor, the downtrodden. This is what they're talking about. The generosity, the giving. That's what they're talking about. They're not talking about giving to the pastor and giving to the church.
Yeah. Giving to Bentleys and jet funds. And that is correct, babe. So Galatians 2:10 states, they asked only that we would remember the poor, which I had made every effort to do. So we, as brother said, we are, we're looking at biblical text here. We're not just making up what we think, because what we think is. Let me tell you, the Sunday that we went after this whole thing broke, we were literally in church from literally 6 a.m. to 9 o'clock that night.
Yeah.
And all of those services, this one here was waiting for somebody to say, close the doors, because we about to have
it was going to be a viral moment.
We were in church the whole day. And he was going to say it. Yeah. And I said, you know what? I said, the light's getting low. He might say it. This one might say it. Luckily, nobody did. Nobody wanted to catch that charge. But the thing of it is that these churches, now mind you, two of them, one was very mixed, one was Black, and the other was not as mixed as the first, I would say.
Well, which one talking about? Cornerstone? Cornerstone?
Yeah.
Cornerstone is predominantly white, but they do have.
But they have such a massive congregation.
It's
That's why it's so much bigger.
This is Athens mega church.
Yeah, this is Athens' version of probably Elevation. But no shakedown happened at any of those. No. And the thing of it is that unfortunately, this is not something that is unusual. The people that go to Black churches, that this is not unusual. But what got me, that whole scene was comical when he said, giving his worship. And like he didn't want nobody talking because he knew that people were saying, can you believe this? Can you believe this? He knew people were talking. And so when he went on Ricky Smiley's, radio show, and y'all know they are, they're both in fraternities. I believe they might be in the same frat. I know Ricky Smiley, I believe, is an Omega Psi Phi. And y'all, Courtney Omega is my real name, birth given. I ain't have to get beat up to be a part of it. Lord have mercy, but Courtney, my sister, probably so. But that's my real name. That's mom and daddy given, and neither one of them were a part of no boule fraternities and that sort of thing, gatekeeping societies, what have you. But so it was a lot of covering up and trying to massage that. And I think that his response was I won't say it was as bad, but it was almost as bad as the entire tone, the entire the entitlement and the just coercive strategy that this man willed. And what is that movie? It's a really good movie.
Let's do this because there's a couple people saying that they can't see it on the site. But I want, if you can hear that, a couple people saying they can't see it on the site, but it is on 2rawfortv.tv, so you guys tune in. We're on live on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, X, so you guys tune in. But so I want to get into this. I want to show people exactly what it is. 'Cause I know a lot of people heard about the clip. A lot of people have heard about it. But I want people to actually see it. You know what I'm saying? I want people to actually see it. You know what I'm saying? So you guys see it on 2rawfortv.tv. It will be up very, very shortly. So we're going in on 2rawfortv.tv. Catch this whole thing on 2raw.
Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. It's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small
they hear me right
seed.
now?
If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000,
can't hear you, but not the video.
That's $40,000 tonight. Now, everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Right. Because again, it costs to sit up here. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even if you're giving tangibly,
you're saying you can't see it on the site right now.
I'm gonna have y'all come to the altar and give it, because I need to see 1,000 people moving.
That time change.
Bring them baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folk. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people online need to give $20.
So there was a couple things there, first of all, that was gangster AF. You know what I'm saying? That was gangster AF. That was coming in, and really it was a fleece. That wasn't faith based. That was fleece based. You know what I'm saying? Fleece based. And I'm gonna say it like this because a couple people talking about language. A couple people were talking about. Well, let me do this real quick. The difference between closed, locked, and shut. So,
Come on.
people were saying, trying to say the difference between these things of closed, locked, and shut, right? So a lot of people online were saying he said lock the doors, right? But then it's like, okay, no, he wasn't saying lock the doors. He was saying, some people said shut the doors. And then some people said close the doors. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so I'm going to tell you this. If I did that at the Temple of Mayat, if I say, hey, we're going to close the doors, and the way he said it, it's about the way you say things, like, and the way he said it is like, if you go out those doors or try to go out those doors, you're going to be ostracized. You're going to, there was a lot of things that were said that not really said, you know what I'm saying, without being said. So the language matters. And for somebody like a preacher to say, close the doors, do this, and this is somebody that people respect, that they love, they cherish. And for him to say, oh, you're not going out these doors until I get $40,000. $40,000. That's criminal. You know what I'm saying? That's criminal. R.I.P. to Young Scooter, a rapper that just got killed in Atlanta. But I'm sure somebody be calling the cops if I said that at the Temple of Mayat and just have people in here. But what's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on the whole? I mean, is that where church is going, into this gangster culture? I mean, we're seeing all of this stuff go gangster. You know what I'm saying? Democrats cursing, they're going gangster. Republicans going gangster. Is the church going the same way? Church culture going the same way? Black church culture specifically.
I want to tell you, and the thing of it is that this clip is a year old, almost about a year old. This is par for the course. If you, for those that know, our pastor actually, from the church in Miami, he actually said that his knowing his pastor at the time, knowing that he was starting up his business, knowing that he was struggling to make rent the next month, told him that if he and his wife were believers, they needed to make sure they made this next conference, which was $5,000 for each of them, and told him that. And this was years ago. So I just want to say this. This is a year old, but trust and believe me, those who know this is common practice. It's par for the course. But let me also give a little insight to, because we don't want to, what we don't want to do is make it seem as though, oh, the Black churches are heading here, but these other churches are not. I've been members of both demographic, majority type of churches, right? I've been a member at Church of Christ, which are, for the most part, in where I've lived, they've been predominantly Black. But I've also been a member of Baptist churches that were predominantly white. And I can say this, the strategies are not the same, but let me tell you what is different. Those places and spaces that were predominantly white churches, their organizing of their funds happen at each other's homes. It doesn't happen in the church doors. A pastor here, and we're going to respect him and not give his name, but he went to a mega pastor's home, and listen, there were levels, literally. Yeah. If you were eating by the pool, it was 1,000. To come in the house, it was 10,000. To go upstairs, it was 20,000. Yeah. So I'm not saying that it was Diddy stuff going on at this part, but there were levels. So depending on where you were on his estate was how much you had to pay. And we also tend to forget, because people say, that's all these churches. That's why I'm not involved. This is exactly why Jesus bought out the whip. Have y'all forgotten that Jesus bought the whips out for this same type of behavior? So this is not, as my husband stated, this is not, it's biblical, but it's not Christian. Because remember, the Bible exists before there ever was Christian, before the word Christian ever appeared. And I think, what did it say? It only appeared twice in the Bible, right? Yeah. They didn't refer to these people following Christ as Christians, right?
Gentiles, so, Nazarenes. It's about like 10 different names, man. But Christian ain't one of them.
And let's be very clear. There's a lot of behavior that is biblical, but it ain't Christian. It ain't Christian. Okay, David, as much as he was after God's own heart, okay, he led his best friend into war to cover up an affair. Is he a biblical figure? Absolutely. Is that Christian behavior? Absolutely not. So this is where the rubber meets the road in this conversation. Was it something that is par for the course when it comes to churches? Absolutely. Is this something that was criminal behavior? Absolutely. Is it Christian? Yeah. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And let's be clear about something too. As a community,
but I want to say this. I want to say this before you say that, Davon. Jesus was putting the whip to those Jews. To those Jews, he was putting the whip to those Jews. That was
his own.
He was
his own. Yeah,
he was.
Yeah.
You know, they was in there doing some. They had some shenanigans going on in that temple.
Yeah.
But I want to make this very clear. There's no such thing as a black church, white church. It's just church. That's number one. Or rather, they shouldn't be.
Right. I was about to say that.
Hold on. No such thing as a black church, white church. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna go
hold up, because I'm rephrasing. I said this is why I backtrack.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be.
There shouldn't
be a white church and black church. It should just be church. So when you see things like this go on, as a community, it does us no good, and it does us even worse as a faith.
Come on.
Hold that thought real quick, Davon. Hold that thought real quick.
Okay.
Because we're going to talk about that. Black church, white church. What is it? Was Marvin Sapp being gangster? Has church turned into the Traphouse? Has church turned into the Traphouse? But you can't see this on X. You can't see this on Facebook. You can't see this on Instagram. You got to go right now to 2rawfortv.tv. Call in 470-572-7678. The revolution will not be televised. So yeah, we're talking about this. We got ministers to a trap house. As far as you are trapped up in here until you give me that $40,000. You know what I'm saying? He should have just threw.
He said he wanted to see 1,000 people moving. That's what he said. He wanted to see 1,000 people moving. He said even if you gave this